Everyone. Welcome to a very quick walkthrough of how to install Puppet operational dashboards in your Puppet environment. It should be very easy to do. It shouldn't take much time. So step one, go to Forge and search for Puppet operational dashboards, and it'll bring up this page. There's a nice, very simple README here, which is pretty much what we're going to follow. But let's do this step by step together. So step one is let's install the module. This is the module here. So take this module, and assuming that you're using the standard control repo, just pop it into your Puppet file. Be aware that there are several dependencies for this particular module: Grafana, Telegraf, APT, AnyFile, InfluxDB, and standard library. There are also dependencies for some of those dependencies as well. So make sure that you have in your Puppet file one iteration of each one of those. I just use latest because it's just my lab, but I do suggest that you don't do that in production and you actually use versions that make sense based on what you're installing, and then just move things as required operationally. So step one, install that. You'll see I had to add the InfluxDB. I did not have that as a dependency, so I've added both of those. So there we go, Puppet Labs, and that's it. Once you've done that, if you've set your system up, maybe like mine, it's very simple. Then just do a git add, and then a git commit, and then maybe just push it. Once you've done that, assuming you've got a simple workflow. Obviously, if you've got a different system, you'll have to use the system that you've got. I have a webhook that will automatically push the data back down to my Puppet server, and it will look. Here's my Puppet file. And if you're not sure where that is in etc Puppet Labs code environments, in my case production, and then this is my Puppet file, and you'll see that my Puppet file now matches. If you're doing it manually and everything's set up correctly, you can also do a Puppet code deploy all. There is another video on how to set this up as well, so you can have a look at that video as well for it to help you. Once that's done, you're going to be presented with a couple of classes, and those classes are going to be what we're going to work with. So if we jump back into the README, you'll see, let's just scroll down a little bit here. We don't need to do any of this specific stuff, but installing on Puppet Enterprise, there's two steps. Step one is to install it on pretty much all the nodes. So how do we do that? Include Puppet Operational Dashboards Enterprise Infrastructure as a class, and then install the Operational Dashboards itself onto its own server. So you got to pick a server, whatever server you've got that's going to run just these operational dashboards. I would like to recommend that you have a specific server for this. So you're running this off its own server. Don't run it on the same node as Puppet Enterprise. But of course, if you're doing this in a lab and you want to do that, that's totally up to you. So how do we do that? Let's just jump in, and let's just jump into my Puppet. And let's just go to my node groups. So the first node group is P agent, P infrastructure agent. You'll see I've already done this. So I've added the class Puppet Operational Dashboards Enterprise Infrastructure to it. Boom. And the second node group, I created one called Dashboard. And Dashboard is going to be the node. If you have a look at matching nodes, this is the node NEAL4. NEAL4 is going to contain the actual Grafana and everything that's required to set it up. So I add to that Puppet Operational Dashboards. Once I've done with that, obviously run Puppet, let it go, send the catalog, sync the catalog. You know how to do this by now. Next, review and schedule. We won't do it. It's already been done. And once that's done, check the jobs. And let me show you the job that I ran. So you'll see that on this one. This is the job for that particular node that's going to run all of this. And you'll see all of the changes. And you can see Telegraf. You can see InfluxDB. You can see certificates. You can see all sorts of stuff happening here. That's because it's going to install a whole heap of software on that particular node for you. And if we look at our second report, assuming we look at our second job, you'll see that we also ran it across all the infrastructure nodes as well. So that's it. That's all you have to do. Give it a bit of time, because this could take a bit of time. And once it's done, you'll be able to go to that node. It's very simple. You go to the IP address, unless you're using DNS, but probably the IP address of that node, :3000, that's the port, and it will bring you to a login page. Now, I've already done this. The login page is very simple. It's admin admin, username, password, and then it will give you instructions to allow you to change the password from admin to admin and something else. Once you're done with that, you end up with your dashboard. Let's have a 2-second tour of that. So let's browse, and you'll see that it's installed a whole bunch of stuff by default. Now, yes, there's a lot more you can do with this, but we'll just have a look at what it looks like by default. So here's my Puppet server. Let's have a look at the last 12 hours, and we can look at a whole bunch of stuff. Here's performance, heap memory and uptime, average requested JRubies, average free, et cetera, et cetera. And it's monitoring this now in real time for me. I don't have to do anything at all. I didn't have to build this infrastructure. I didn't have to do a thing. Everything was set up for me by Puppet. That's its job. It now is managing a node that will make sure that not only is this updated, but also the correct information is being sent to it, because everything got installed using the default Puppet installation. So everything is there for me. Very, very simple, very easy to use. And now I can start having a look at the different dashboards that are available, maybe integrating some others, and starting to make some use out of this almost right out of the box. And that, folks, is all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it works well for you. If you have any questions, speak to somebody at Puppet or contact your TAM if you have a TAM. And that is it for today. Thanks for watching.